Hello, everybody. Hi.
Hello.
I hear that you couldn't hear the video.
I didn't hear a thing. Well.
Apparently, the audio didn't work, but at least you saw how gorgeous Angela Ardolino and Odie look.
Nina also has a cameo where she runs by the screen.
I know, and how beautiful does Blanche look?
Is that her turkey sweater?
Oh
no, her knit sweater.
What's her turkey sweater? I don't even know what her turkey sweater is.
She has a turkey themed sweater dress that's
very turkey themed sweater dress. Yes, yep. I know very well. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Live.
Hello.
Thanks, Blanche. Hi, Blanche. Fernando, what are we doing today?
What'd you say?
I said, what are we doing today?
We're talking all about arthritis. Woo! I mean, not woohoo for arthritis, but woohoo for the fact that there's natural ways to help our animals and ourselves feel better from arthritis. Yes. And lots of research to prove it, and lots of amazing personal experiences from our farm and from people all over the world.
Yeah, high five for that.
So my name is Hernando Yumana. I am a co-owner of CBD Dog Health. I recently graduated from the University of Vermont's School of Medicine Medical Cannabis Program and Dr. Sulak's Healer Program for CBD use.
And I'm Carter Aisler. I'm the Director of Education Outreach for CBD Dog Health, certified in the use of veterinary cannabis from the College of Integrative Veterinary Therapies. And we like dogs, and we like cats, and we like animals, and we like healing them with natural modalities like CBD.
And we like cannabis ourselves. Let's not even kid anybody.
Absolutely.
CBD, THC, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I know you and I have very different experiences of cannabis. It's kind of like how our dogs are. Like everybody's body works with it differently. I am super sensitive. Hernando less so, right?
Angie even less so.
Angie is she is a tank. she has a very low sensitivity, a high capacity for cannabinoids.
And I will say that Angie and I get it here in Florida medicinally with our medical marijuana cards, and Carter is in a legal state. What we're talking about is A-OK.
Yeah, all above board. We're law-abiding citizens.
Well, I'm really excited we're talking about arthritis for a few reasons, but CBD Dog Health wouldn't be here if it wasn't for arthritis, right? For those of you watching, hi Lori, hi Samantha, hi Laura, hi Brat VS. Tell us how your baby's doing.
Hello. Hi everybody.
Brat VS, who's watching you guys, her dog's been living seizure-free for months now using our Heal Tincture. So we love to hear updates on that. So yeah, arthritis. Our founder, Angela Ardolino, was actually diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis years ago. And she didn't want to take the prescription pills because she knew the risks there associated. So she discovered medical cannabis for herself, and it changed her life. She sold her business because she was so passionate about it. She attended the very first medical cannabis program at the University of Vermont. She went on to advocate for it for humans and kids all over the country. And not too long after that, her baby boy, Odie, that mini schnauzer you might have seen in the video before, starts to develop his own arthritis symptoms. So she knew from the University of Vermont that CBD would work just as well for dogs, if not even more. And she started to formulate, and she created the first tincture, which is EASE here.
Too.
And that's Odie on it. That's his little drawing. And it's a blend of full spectrum CBD, turmeric, and frankincense, 3 crazy, beautiful anti-inflammatories that have worked wonders for Odie and for dogs all over the country now.
Yeah.
So that's how CBD Dog Health got started, and EASE got started. And today, let's see if this works. I hope it works. Today, we're going to be giving away a free, this way,
Otto,
Ease. Ease. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Am I just doing this to nothing?
Yeah.
Well, I can see it on my screen and now I'm removing it. Ease. Oh, does your back hurt? Oh, I was gonna go for the full commercial.
Okay, no,
we just posted their sign up for you guys to enter a chance to win. So you're going to enter your email there and you will receive a free ebook all about arthritis and holistic practices to help that arthritis, and also enter a chance to win that free bottle of EASE, retail price at $87.99. That's a cute prize for free.
Do look out for the ebook. It's full of really great information. You're going to see some of the slides from that today. We're going to break down arthritis, talk about what it is, why it happens, what the conventional methods of healing it are, how CBD and other natural modalities can help with that. But that's all in that ebook that you're going to get by signing up to be entered in the draw to win a free bottle of EASE. So it's a win-win-win-win-win situation.
Woohoo! And I just wanted to share this because this is one of our, we just got this, I think, last week. And you can check out our review section, but I go through these once a week and have a good cry. But this is one of the ones that really, Foxy's Miracle saved my dog. Absolutely recommend this to anyone with a dog who has arthritis and or muscle deterioration. Within 3 weeks, my dog went from not being able to walk up 3 steps to the house to running. A happy kid again. Thank you for being there for my pack.
Yay. Laura Bryant says, my Bernese is on EASE and Calm.
Awesome. How's that going? I want to hear. By the way, if you have questions, we will be doing a Q&A, so feel free to ask any questions.
Yeah. Please put your questions here. We love to answer them, and it's a great way to get live feedback.
Totally. So let's talk a little bit about arthritis.
Yeah. Tell me about it, stud.
I don't like that. All right, so arthritis. To break it down easily for you guys, it's for myself actually. Arthritis is chronic inflammation within the joints. It is a degenerative disease that unfortunately we can't really stop from coming for most senior animals, though you can also get it genetically. But there are ways to help slow down the progress naturally, which we'll talk about. So basically, this chronic inflammation in the joints creates friction. It breaks down the cartilage. So there starts to be a lot of bone-to-bone interaction there. It does not feel good. It hurts. And I do want to point something out that I see, we get to travel the country and meet pet parents everywhere. And I always see pet parents with their senior dog laughing of, oh, he's just old and he can't get up. Oh, he's just old and his, back legs do that. What I need everybody to know is that that means they're in pain. And whether they're yelping or not, there's a lot of dogs who don't like to express that they're in pain. But when you see your dog starting to limp, when you see your dog not being able to get up as fast as they used to, or not be able to get up the stairs as fast as they used to, that means there's pain going on. And the most important thing is to keep them pain-free and give them a good quality of life. So while you're watching your dog, start noticing little differences. And when you see that degenerative disease starting to come, it's time to start acting. Mm-hmm. Start acting now, though, with the right foods and CBD and a whole bunch of other things that we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm. I also just wanted to add, there's a couple different types of arthritis as far as I understand. The reason that Angela, our founder, got into this is because she had a type of arthritis called rheumatoid arthritis, which dogs get as well. And that is largely caused by an overactive immune system. So the immune system is overactive, and that causes an inflammatory response, which then leads to that degeneration. There's also just regular osteoarthritis, as they often call it, which can happen, just as dogs are getting older, as tissue degeneration just naturally happens, or if they're overweight. So there's a few different ways that we can kind of get to the same place. But in all these cases, treating it before it's a problem is the best way to deal with it.
Yep.
Because once you break down that cartilage between those bones, you can't really get it back. You can reduce the pain and you can reduce the inflammation that is still there. But once you've broken down that cartilage, it's not coming back. So it's good to start before it's a big problem.
Yep, totally. And by the way,
because these dogs don't want to show it. It's their instinct to hide their pain from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, and this all pertains to humans, by the way, and cats and horses and all of us. Any creature out there with joints, you know, with time comes a lot of wear and tear, and it's going to happen. So act beforehand, and if you're too late, act. Give them a better quality of life in the moment.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Carter, I know we talked about something different, but I'm going to have you talk about it right now. So we want to talk first a little bit about some conventional options that I'm sure you've all heard of, and of what your veterinarian, who probably doesn't know about cannabis yet, might be telling you to do or give your dog when they have symptoms of arthritis.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways that our veterinarians typically will attack arthritis and joint pain as our dogs are aging. These are kind of the three main ones that we see. NSAIDs, which stands for non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. That's kind of in human world, that's like an aspirin. So we have a similar kind of grouping of drugs for that they use for pets. Some of the most common ones are like Rimadyl or Metacam. Steroids are also commonly used. This basically just stops that inflammatory response from being released. It turns that switch off so that no cytokines and histamines or anything are released in the body. And then we have pain medications. So, you know, oftentimes it's synthetic opiates, like tramadol is a common one that they use. And, you know, each of these kind of, they affect it in different ways. They treat it in different ways, but none of them really actually treat the cause of the thing. They mostly are just getting rid of the sensation of the pain. And while doing so, presenting a whole bunch of different issues, side effects, and potential long-term damage. None of these are things that should be used long-term. And yet, for a long time, this was kind of like the only option that people had, or was the only option that veterinarians presented. You know, so often it's said that there's nothing else you can do when they haven't ever asked you, you know, what are you feeding your dog? Maybe your dog is overweight. Have you tried different herbal remedies? God forbid, have you tried cannabis or a full spectrum hemp extract? So, you know, you can try these things. They're going to be short-lived. NSAIDs especially are really hard on the liver. You know, similar to humans, they can lead to ulcers in the stomach. It's really rough on the kidneys. Steroids, as you know, as we know for ourselves, you know, it can be really terrible, suppressing the immune system, stressing the liver, leading to breakdown of tissue throughout the body. And then pain medications, you know, this is part of the problem with pain medications and treating arthritis is you're just getting rid of the sensation of pain while those joints continue to degenerate and break down that cartilage even further. So you're not actually stopping the problem from getting worse. You're just kind of covering it up. It's kind of a shame that so many pet parents find themselves at a dead end after looking at these solutions. There's probably a time and a place when these are appropriate. Absolutely. But we really need to move beyond this being the be all end all when we talk about treating arthritis, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And some really interesting studies are coming around all over the country about states who have implemented medical cannabis have a huge decrease in both opioid use and opioid overdoses.
Yeah. Right.
Because it can take the place many times. Yes. And it's the same for our animals, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a little surprise for you guys. And I something that I wanted someone to talk about that wasn't Carter and I, who maybe knows a little bit more. about, there's also a lot of research showing that not only can CBD and cannabis potentially replace a lot of these things, but they could actually also help these things using them together. So please welcome to the stage, Dr. Zach.
You guys are too much.
We know. Or just enough.
It's good to be here, guys. It's exciting. Virtual Fridays.
Yeah.
Right.
Where are you?
Make this a new thing because I'm excited to be here.
Where are you right now?
I literally just landed in Florida.
Oh, you're back in Florida.
Yeah, I just landed 20 minutes ago. So,
well, thanks for joining us.
Yep.
This is our chief veterinarian here, Dr. Zach Pilosoff, one of the very few vets who not only have any knowledge on CBD and cannabis, but who have the balls to talk about it. So, yeah, we're just kind of talking about, Carter just explained a little bit about NSAIDs, steroids, and painkillers, and using them as a more short-term solution if needed.
Right.
But I do think it's really fascinating to talk about using them together, because there's a lot of research that cannabis can potentially make those prescription drugs work even better.
Yeah, right. Like I tell everyone, like when people ask me like what made me start getting into this, and I was like, well, all the therapies that have been made throughout the beginning of time until now, they were all made for a reason, and they were initially meant for a certain application. So, the use of Western pharmaceuticals, like that's not something that we should be completely saying is terribly wrong. Just like we shouldn't be saying that all holistic and alternative modalities are completely wrong. It's really just it's based on using a case-by-case basis and applying them in the ways in which they were meant to be from the start, and not abusing what they can do. And so when it comes to like opioids and it comes to NSAIDs, when I'm in an emergency clinic, right, and I have an animal that's severely painful, needs help right now, there's nothing better than giving them a dose of an opioid medication once or twice. It's going to help them get through that. That's what the intention was. But the use of it chronically long-term at high doses is going to do nothing but confuse your body and make you then have to use more and more over time as it gets conditioned to it. Where cannabis and where these alternative modalities fit in is in a much grander scale, because what they can do is they are, if not adulterated, obviously, they are applicable for long-term use, especially if your body's in need for that period, because they're not going to cause long-term effects. They're not going to cause toxicities, again, as long as they've been vetted for safety. And so that's where those fit into this what I would consider as a global medicine plan or a multimodal therapeutic plan, is to use them in the ways they were intended.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Good work, Zach.
No, I do love that. And I think it's so important to stress that there is a time and a place for both.
Right.
I myself have taken steroids after steroids after steroids in the past, because that's what my doctor told me, and I thought that was the only option. And learning now that there's ways for some natural things to work with my body to help prevent it in the future, instead of kind of trying to stop what's currently happening. It's like when I break out and my dermatologist would give me what's it called, antibiotic, and it'd clear me up, and then 3 days later it was 10 times worse.
Yeah. On your point before, what you said about like the research, there's a lot, like you said, like there's not one plant in the world that's been studied more than cannabis, and sure enough, the world will recognize that, both medical professionals and non-medical professionals. So when you're looking at that and you're looking on how are the multiple ways that cannabis can be used, one of them is the topic you actually just discussed, where specifically on the topic of opioids that have been used or abused, the cannabis has been shown to help decrease that reward feeling or reward center in your brain, specifically with the use of opioids. And in conjunction with that, has been known to work synergistically with the opioid receptors in terms of controlling pain. So the ways in which it's used, it enhances, and the ways in which it's abused, it helps to mitigate. So there's really not one better thing I could think of that would help to get someone to not only get off an abusive use of opioids, but also then to enhance as a multimodal treatment plan.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. I've also read that use of cannabis alongside NSAIDs, there's kind of, people suppose that it can potentiate the effects of NSAIDs and make them actually work better. Like it does it with a lot of other drugs. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, for sure. NSAIDs are, again, probably even more abused than opioids in terms of everyone in this world. Like you open your cabinet up, you have aspirin or Aleve in there, and everyone pops those like it's literally like they're jelly beans. So it's again, and also at the same time, there's actually not, I think it's top 2 or 3, one of the leading killers of all pharmaceuticals, over-the-counter NSAIDs. So at the same time, though, what we can do is we can reduce the amount of NSAIDs we're needing in terms of we're having a day that we're in pain, or that we have, we're expecting some inflammation. Say we have we're using it before we have a game or something like that. The enzymes specifically that help to prevent the creation of pro-inflammatory mediators, which is what NSAIDs directly inhibits. Cannabis also seems in some way to kind of use up that pathway to the point where it creates less of the inflammatory molecules to be circulating around, and also at the same time helps to help those enzymes specifically. It's hard to just, it's almost like it's like an overlap friendship. Basically, they work together to kind of reduce the amount of the pro-inflammatory molecules that are circulating, thus creating an anti-inflammatory effect. So not to get too scientifically, I'm trying to make it so that it's digestible.
I'm following.
Yeah, they're friends using the same pathway together.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Well, thanks for joining us and explaining all this, Dr. Zach.
Yeah, thanks, Zach.
Yeah, happy to make a guest appearance.
We miss you. And if anybody needs a veterinarian, he does do consultations that we'll link here. It's him and our founder, Angela Ardolino, and they will come up with a full protocol, holistic approaches, all natural, including CBD and cannabis to help your animal live the very best life possible. So if you guys have an amazing vet who really cares and has gone out of his way to learn all these extra things, I don't know where you can find one. I'm just kidding. Dr. Zach.
that little Santa Claus hat. Where are you going?
Well, thanks for joining us, Dr. Zach. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for the invite, guys.
Bye.
See you later.
Oh, thank God.
What a stud.
No, it's really, Mary says, thank you for the information. Yeah, Dr. Zach is incredible. There's truly very few vets who know anything about cannabis, unfortunately, right now, and even less who have the courage to talk about it and incorporate it into their daily conversations.
Like we always say, if they know about it, they have gone out in their own personal time and learned about it. This is not taught in vet school, regardless of the fact that cannabis has been used as an analgesic, as an antiemetic for thousands of years. Vet schools don't teach this stuff. These vets have had to get this information themselves.
Yeah, and we're trying to change that, and that's what we do. That's why we educate, and that's why we travel and educating veterinarians. And Angie has gone to colleges to talk to the vet students about it, and this next generation of vet students are ready to bring this into their practice. So
yeah, and it also helps that there's so many pet parents like you guys who are here today who are going to their vets and asking them about this. I've have a lot of pet parents who are like, can you send me that research so I can bring it to my vet? So the more that happens, the more this snowball effect happens, the more that vets have to answer this question, and they have to become informed about this, because in the end, we want medical professionals to be educated on this. We want them to have control and to know what they're talking about, so that pet parents don't have to just show up at a dispensary or buy CBD from a gas station and be like, well, I hope this works. Nobody wins then.
And for the people who are new to the CBD world, it is so important to stress that not all CBD products are created equal. That is not us saying that we are the only ones doing it right. There are some great products out there, but there's even been studies done showing that most pet CBD companies aren't even close to having in the bottle what they're saying in the label. Some don't have CBD at all. Some have heavy metals. It's really important to do your research and find a certificate of analysis, which we have a video of Carter explaining how to read one if you're interested in that. Let's move on.
Amazon is not
Amazon doesn't allow the sale of CBD. So anything that you're seeing on Amazon is actually just hemp seed oil, which is
great for salad dressing.
and other things, a lot of other things, but it's not medicinal, for sure.
Right. Right.
Lori says my vet is very open to natural treatment. Well, Lori, I want to talk to your vet. So we love talking to vets like that. So please.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about how CBD works for arthritis. A lot of people are always saying that there's not enough research, and while there is not enough research, there is some research out there with millions of anecdotal evidence out there. But these are two really great ones, canine specific, Cornell and Baylor University, both using full spectrum CBD, both a double-blind placebo study, and both of them showing significant improvement in symptoms of arthritis. So, we see it every day, so we don't need to see this research, but it is out there.
Yeah, and I think it's important that we have this research now, because for so long it was anecdotal evidence. But the fact that the research is directly in line with all the anecdotal evidence that we've had, it just confirms it even more. Not that anecdotal evidence is not powerful and effective, but the fact that they are so in line really kind of just proves that it is as great as we have known it to be for so long.
Totally. I think arthritis is the most studied topic when it comes to CBD, right? I think.
Yeah, definitely. At this point, especially in humans, there's a ton of studies in humans. And, what we know is that humans and animals all share an endocannabinoid system that is much more alike than we would think. Just the way that, we're learning that our animals thrive on fresh and whole foods just as much as we do. It's a similar thing, that they have a similar system that accepts these herbs and these compounds, and can help them to thrive the same way that we can.
Yeah. Talk to them a little bit about how CBD works to help both the symptoms and the actual root of the problem.
Yeah, so really one of the primary properties of CBD and other cannabinoids that you would find in a full spectrum hemp extract like CBG or CBN, there's all these different things that all work. And one of the main things that they do is reduce inflammation. So if you go back to the idea of those joints, you've got your cartilage that gets inflamed, and the more that it's inflamed, the more it starts rubbing together and breaking down. CBD can go into those joints and reduce that inflammation so that there's more of that fluid between them that keeps it moving. So number one, you have less rubbing, which just by reducing that inflammation, you're reducing the pain. So you're reducing pain and the deterioration over time by reducing inflammation. That's one way. The other way that it can help is by just reducing the sensation of pain. So, like Dr. Zach said earlier, CBD can affect similar pathways to painkillers like opiates. It actually changes the way that our pets' brains perceive pain. So the body isn't able to, they don't feel the same pain that they would if they weren't on it. But it's in a much more sustainable and less aggressive way than a lot of those typical painkillers would work. So we're both reducing inflammation, which does reduce pain, and we're just killing their sensation of pain at the same time. Also, if you have a dog that is arthritic because of an immune response, like we were talking before about rheumatoid arthritis, CBD is really great at balancing the immune system. That's one of the main ways that it works. The immune system is full, the organs of the immune system, the gut, the intestines, they're full of receptors for cannabinoids like CBD. So it can moderate those and reduce the overactive immune responses that cause this system-wide inflammation.
Yeah, exactly. And something to be said is that you can use CBD as a preventative. So as the dog is getting older and you don't want that chronic inflammation to build up that's going to happen, CBD can really help reduce it and slow down the degeneration of that. So if you've got a young, happy dog, no worries, it's still a really great idea to start using CBD if possible.
Yeah. and especially in the dogs, the breeds that we know are prone to these kinds of issues. If you know that you have one of these breeds, the German Shepherds, Bulldogs, Mastiffs, that, you know, Golden Retrievers that have it in their hips, any of these dogs that are prone to arthritis, hip dysplasia, by the time they're showing signs of arthritis and joint pain, you already have a long time of degeneration where it has been a problem that they're not showing it. So if you know, I wouldn't say that there's like no too early to start, but once you have an adult dog, start slowly supplementing them with things like CBD that are going to help to reduce the impact of that kind of chronic inflammation, which can lead to joint degeneration.
Totally. But you know, we always try to stick to the tincture side in an oil. So it's, you know, more of it's getting to their system and getting in there faster. But that's a time you can also consider our salmon treats to just add some extra to just get it in there. Instead of just any treats, give them a little fresh salmon with some CBD. So it's a really great time to play around with that if you aren't ready to go the oil route.
Mm-hmm.
Dosing is probably one of the biggest questions that we get here.
Yeah, what do you give them, Hernando?
What do
you give them?
EASE. Well, first and foremost, I just want to break the myth that CBD is dependent on their size or weight. While there could be some correlation there, it is not what the standard should be. You know, it's all based on their endocannabinoid system and their level of pain they're in, the ailment. You know, a small dog with cancer is going to need a lot more than a big dog with anxiety, what other medications they're on, their age, so much comes into it. So it's a little bit of trial and error. We always encourage pet parents to keep a journal on hand, track the daily dose, see what works, see what doesn't work. If they're too lethargic, and too sleepy, we can reduce the dose a little bit. If you're not seeing enough, you can increase the dose. But there have been studies to prove that CBD is incredibly safe at even extremely high doses. So you don't have to worry about giving too much.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, based on our experience and based on the research that there is out there, we generally suggest starting somewhere around 9 to 12 milligrams a day. Best if you can split that up at least morning and night. So maybe 6 milligrams in the morning, 6 milligrams at night, or 3, 3, and 3, just so it stays in their bloodstream throughout the whole day, keeping them pain-free. But it's really so dependent on your animal and their needs, and just play around until you find what works for them and what keeps them comfortable.
Susan McPherson said, I just got my Heal CBD today. Love that your dropper shows how many milligrams they should get. Super. And I just the dropper it shows the volume of oil. So this, if it says 2.5 on here, that's not 25 milligrams. That's 1/4 of a milliliter. So if you've got a bottle of EASE, there are 9 milligrams in every milliliter. If you have a bottle of Heal, there are 37 milligrams in every milliliter. So it's got the same markers on this one as it does on the other one, just so you know.
Thank you. No, it's a big thing, because we get a lot of people very confused on that, and it took me forever to figure that out. So ask questions, you guys. By the way, yes, if you have questions, ask. If you haven't entered to win a free bottle of EASE and get our free ebook all about arthritis, please, please, please sign up. We'll post the link again. Free bottle of EASE. Model it for us, Carter.
Ooh. All right, that's it.
This is what we do for a living.
I love the sound effect for it. I'm having so much fun.
Cool. Well,
Oh my god.
Post the link for Marcia. Which oil is best for a 10-and-a-half-year-old with spinal arthritis? You know what's really interesting? I forgot to get this specific review on. We're going to talk about it right now. Generally, senior animals, I tell them to go with the heel tincture because they generally need a little bit more. But we're getting a lot of really positive feedback about arthritis and inflammation-based problems with our EASE tincture, even though it's less milligrams, because of the frankincense and the turmeric, which is a perfect topic to bring up because I don't know if we said this before. If you haven't heard, this does contain turmeric and frankincense along with the full spectrum CBD. And there's been some really cool research about using these amazing compounds together.
Yeah. It's super cool, you know, and it kind of goes with the whole idea of how full spectrum hemp extract works, you know, because when we talk about CBD, depending on the product and if it's a really good one, what we're really talking about is CBD in conjunction with a whole bunch of other compounds. So there's 120 different at least that we know of, plus terpenes and flavonoids, a whole bunch of other different things, all working together. So research shows, in our experience, is that the more you leave those intact and you have all those things working together, the better they work. And part of the reason that our EASE tincture includes both frankincense and turmeric is kind of piggybacking on that effect, finding other like herbs and herbal remedies that have similar properties that contain actually the same chemicals. For instance, there's a chemical called beta-caryophyllene, which is a terpene that has really powerful therapeutic anti-inflammatory benefits that both hemp has, as well as frankincense and turmeric. So these things, they share actual chemical compounds, and they boost each other's ability to be anti-inflammatory, to have all these anti-cancerous effects for our animals and for ourselves. And this, you know, this is proven by evidence as well, you know, by research. They did a study on the effects of turmeric and frankincense on inflammation. And what they found was that turmeric was really great as an anti-inflammatory. They reduced inflammation by a large degree, but when they added frankincense into the treatment regimen, it was even better. It was even more anti-inflammatory. And so, you know, that's part of the reason why we have it with our hemp tincture. It really makes a difference, you know, so that you may not need as much CBD if you've got these other herbs in there. That's why we suppose that dogs are needing less CBD when these other herbs are there.
Yeah, it works beautiful together, and it's just we keep getting more and more customers calling and telling us about it. So
yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And like when we're on the farm and there's a thunderstorm that comes through, the difference between how the Calm tincture works, which has lavender essential oil in it, versus the Heal, similarly, this works way better, even though it has less CBD in it.
Yep. Susan says she has 8 dogs, of which 5 are seniors and need either Heal or EASE, but I can't afford it for all. In that case, when it comes to price, which I totally understand, and multiple dogs, do the Heal. You end up getting a little bit more for your buck as far as milligrams go, and it's easier to share. So definitely the Heal, I would say, for sure.
I mean, the other thing that you could do also is we sell CBD for horses. We have a large volume. So if you've got a lot of dogs, it's the same extract. It's the same CBD, the same turmeric and frankincense in our horse EASE tincture. It's just more potent. So you're getting, instead of where this bottle of EASE for dogs has 9 milligrams in a milliliter, the horse EASE has 50 milligrams per milliliter. So you'll use less oil, but per milligram of CBD, you're paying way less, and you're getting more volume too. It's a 4-ounce bottle. So you're just getting more of it, and it's stronger. So you'll use less, you'll save money. Don't pay attention to the horse on the label. It's the same quality stuff. It's the same extract. Really good stuff.
And as far as price goes, we do have the subscribe and save to get 10% off and free shipping every month. We now have a refer a friend program as well, where you can give someone $15 and you can get $15.
You can also break it up into payments too.
Yeah, it's called Sezzle. You can break it up into 4 payments with no interest. And CBD Dog Health, as far as I know, if not the lowest price, one of the lowest price per milligram full spectrum CBD products out on the market. We really understand, and we really try our hardest to keep the prices as low as we possibly can and give coupons. If you're not part of our emails, we give coupons anytime we can. So we really, really, really do our best to try to help. But
yeah. So the horse tinctures are expensive. They're not cheap, but
cheaper when you do the math and you figure out.
Yeah, if you have a lot of dogs and you're using it regularly, you're seeing success with it. It's a way that you can. It's kind of like the Costco of CBD. It's really, but no, you're not skimping on quality at all. You're just getting like a big jar of mayo that like you're like, who? Somebody with 8 dogs.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Well, that's the CBD. We're going to talk about a little bit other things, but I see some questions coming in that we'll get to. Keep asking questions. We're going to post that link again to win a free bottle of EASE and get that free ebook. But we always, CBD Dog Health, stress the fact that, well, CBD could do some incredible things. There's a lot of other things you can use to help it work even better. Number one is food. What you feed your dog is very important, not just for arthritis, for anything. So our personal favorites is Answers Pet Food. They are a raw food company. But just we're actually going to link their protocol for arthritis. But just some tips if you're not doing Answers. Using something like fish stock or turkey stock that's full of omega-3s is a really, really great way to reduce the inflammation. Remember, the key here is to reduce the inflammation. So if we can find foods that can support that, like omega-3s in fish stock or turkey stock, awesome.
And maintaining a healthy weight for your dog is really important. I've heard vets say, like, if the difference between a pound or 2 on a dog can be the difference between joints grinding together and wearing down cartilage. So making sure that your dog is at a healthy weight over a long period of time is really going to make a difference in their joint health. Yeah.
And actually, we're going to post an article that Dr. Zach wrote. What was it, on Dogster?
Yeah.
Well, which is all about food. Definitely take a read there.
Yeah, it's a great article.
The other thing I'll say is just careful with processed diets that contain a lot of starch in there, because those are going to cause more inflammation. So definitely check out that protocol we posted. Check out that awesome article by Dr. Zach that we just posted. Food and what we put in our guts is the most important thing. Billy Hochman, who is the Carter of Answers, the education director over there, he's I've never known someone who knows so much about food ever. And his dog takes our products. It takes our Heal for their babe's arthritis and pain. And a quote that he says that I love is that he doesn't give his dog supplements. He only gives his dogs food. And CBD is that. CBD is food. It's plant food. It's exactly that. So when you're supplementing them with the right actual foods plus plant food, you can create beautiful, beautiful things there. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Great. Sometimes words are hard.
No. I'm with you.
What did Mary say? I think the EASE would be best for my pit bull, Eddie. Awesome. Pit bulls full of allergies, absolutely, for sure. Cool. And then just some other things that you can do, other options to consider that aren't conventional, chiropractic, acupuncture, hydrotherapy. There's some really, really, really great alternative options for sure. Visit AngelaArdolino.com. We'll post a link to the podcast page. We have podcasts with the best holistic veterinarians all over the country and who all talk about all these options. So if you want to learn, please check those podcasts out.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can give to your dog before you resort to NSAIDs, steroids, painkillers. That, you know, it's tempting to use those products because they act really fast and you'll see dramatic results. But, you know, we want to be working for the long haul. We want to be looking down the road and looking at what is going to keep our animals healthy and happy for the longest time. So, you know, integrating a really healthy diet, using these traditional and non-traditional healing remedies, this can really help to give a well-balanced life for your pet.
Yeah, I think if you have a young dog, the key term is preventative.
Yeah.
And if you've got a senior dog who's already going through this, just know that there are natural ways to help slow down that degeneration and an awesome quality of life, pain-free. We literally see dogs here that come into our rescue farm who can barely walk. Old Lady is one of them. We call her Old Lady. Odie, Potato, who can barely walk, and within a week and a half, sometimes even a day, they're running around like puppies. And I know that sounds crazy and like it's snake oil, but there is a lot of proof and a lot of evidence, and it's amazing, you guys. And it's so important that we talk about this and we get the word out, not just for animals, for humans, for all of us. You know, this plant has been vilified for a long time because of greed and profit, and we're coming back strong.
Yeah. Tracy asks, could this be used in conjunction with a glucosamine supplement? And the answer is, as far as I'm concerned, yes. As far as I know, Dr. Zach, I think you're still there in the comments, but glucosamine is one of those nutraceuticals that is minimally invasive, is pretty good for our animals. Also, procedures like an Adequan injection sounds kind of invasive and intense. It's expensive as far as I know, but also doesn't do the same kind of harm that some of those, you know, steroids or other treatments can. It's fairly natural and does not have too many side effects. So, and can be used in conjunction with CBD, nutritional therapies. So yes, definitely that.
Yeah, he said 100% can be used. Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Zach says yes. Cool.
Well, we're going to post that link one more time. We're not going to choose a winner until Monday. So if you're watching this late people, you can still enter a chance to win. You want to do it again? Play the music again.
Oh, yeah. Ready?
Yes.
I'm ready.
Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. We will be here next week. It will be me and Angela Ardolino, our fearless leader, and we're going to be talking all about cannabis for horses and donkeys and these large animals that also have an endocannabinoid system and also have the same issues like arthritis. So if you have friends who you think need to learn about it for their horses, bring them on over. And we also have a podcast coming out on Monday with Cannabis Radio with the amazing Dr. Sarah Urban, who will also be talking all about cannabis for horses. She has had some incredible experiences there. So
yeah, if you don't already follow Angela's podcast, It's a Dog's Life. It's really great. And the guests are amazing.
Like, literally the best holistic vets and the best experts in the world.
Giving great information with so much experience, and it's really fun.
Yes. Well,
Cool.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Happy Friday.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Hernando.
Love. Bye, callers.
I'm leaving.
Bye.